Good. This is Mr. Dismas. I'll take you through fraction that we have been talking about. We have been talking about addition of fraction. We have been talking about subtraction of fraction. We have talked about types of fractions. And we talked about parts of fraction. So today, if I'm not wrong, we want to talk about the multiplication of fraction. And as you know, a fraction contains either, if it is a mixed fraction, it will have either, it will have a whole number, a numerator, and a denominator. But if it is a proper or improper fraction, it will have only numerator and denominator. Now, we want to talk about the multiplication of fraction. Let me start by giving you an example. For instance, we write 3 over 4. Example 1 times maybe 5 over 7. How do we solve such a question? Now, this is what you do. If you have ever done your own research, because I told you to research about this, you'll find out that we start by multiplying the numerators, then we multiply the denominators. Then we come up with our answer. So this is what you're going to do. 3 times 5, then 4 times 7. What are you going to get when you multiply this? 3 times 5, I believe whenever you add, you have gotten 15. And 4 times 7, I believe whenever you add, you have gotten 28. Now let's look at 15 and 28. Are they numbers that have any common factor? I believe no, because 15 can be divided by 3 and 5. 28 can be divided by 2, 4, 7, and so on. So there is no common divisor between them. So what we do, we just write our answer as 15 over 28. Example number 2. Let's see example number 2. This one is example number 1. Example number 2, let me take maybe 1 over 2 multiplied by 6 maybe over 9. What are we going to get? These one are improper fraction. These one are improper fraction. Being improper fraction, we are just about to multiply direct. So let's see. 1 over 2 minus 6 over 3 over 9. So we multiply direct 1 times 6, then 2 times 9. What are we going to get? We're going to get 6 over 18. Now, if you're going to 6 over 18, what are you going to do? Because if you look at 6 over 18, 6 and 18, they have a common factor. And these common factors are, let's see. If I write here, for example, I'm now going to write the factors of 6. The factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6 itself. Then the factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18 itself. So, can you look at these factors? Which one is a common factor between 6 and 18? Which one is a common factor? We have 1, we have 1. We have 2, we have 2. We have 3, we have 3. We have 6, we have 6. But which one is the highest common factor? The highest common factor is 6. So now we come here and divide this by 6. Divide this by 6. We're going to get 1 over 3. So your answer becomes 1 over 3. 1 over 3. Good. Now let's try and do another example that is a mixed fraction. An example that is a mixed fraction. Let's see. Right with you. Example 3. Maybe 2 over 5 times 3, 1 over 2. I want you to listen and listen to the words. There is a mistake most learners do. And I've experienced this with most of you when you are trying to do some derivation questions on this. They try to multiply 2 by 6, which is by 3, which is wrong. What you do is you need to change this into improper fraction. You need to change all the fractions into improper fraction. How do we change a mixed fraction into improper fraction? I want you to follow me and I need you to understand this. This one is very important because if you don't change them correctly into improper fraction, it is going to be a mistake and you're going to fail. Step number, you need to do is changing into improper fraction. Put a multiplication here and put addition sign there. Then your movement will be like this. Same to this side. Put a multiplication, put addition sign. Show what you're going to do. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to do 5 times 2 plus 2. Very simple mathematics. 5 times 2, 10. Plus 2, 12. So you have 12 over 5. Correct? Multiply by 3 times, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So you have 7 over 2. You have changed that into improper fraction. That's correct. Now what do? We need to multiply direct, as we say. Multiply the denominators alone, multiply the numerators alone. Let's see. 12 times 7 over 5 times 2. What are you going to get? That is 84. I believe that is it. Then over 10. Now, which kind of fraction do we have on the board? If you remember what I said when we have a bigger numerator and a smaller denominator. This fraction is called an improper fraction. And you also say that, right? So, let's see. What do we do when we get an improper fraction? What we do, we change it into mixed fraction. How do we change it into mixed fraction? I remember in grade 4 we talked about some parts like quotient, dividend, divisor, and remainder. This is what you're going to apply to. Let's see. You're going to take 10 into 84. Then I ask you a question. How many times does 10 go into 84? I believe we have said 8, so I write here 8. 8 should be here. 8 times 10, 80. You get, subtract there, you get 4. Now ask yourself, what is our dividend? What is our quotient? And what is our remainder? Because our answer should be our quotient, remainder over divisor. Now, our quotient is the answer you got here. This is 8. Our remainder is here. What remained? And that is 4. Our divisor is here, which was used to divide the dividend. So you put over 10. So, your answer is 8, 4 over 10. But look at it. 4 and 10 are even numbers. And what's an even number? An even number is a number that can be divided by 2. That clearly tells us that we can simplify 4 and 10 by dividing by 2. Let's see. 8, 2 goes into 4, 2. 2 goes into 10, 5. Going into, it simply means dividing by 2. So 4 divided by 2, 2. 10 divided by 2, 5. So you have 2 over 5. That is the answer. And you have understood. If not, listen. Right? Good. So you have your answer as 8, 2 over 5. Can I give you a mind check? I want you to check your mind. If you have understood anything, try to solve this. That is, number 1, 1 over 2 times 1 over 3. What are you going to get? Then try this. 2, I want you to try 3, 1 over 6 times 2, 1, or let me use 2 over 3. Try these 2 questions. I believe they are going to be good for you and you are going to understand this thing. Now let's try and do another one on division of fraction. Division of fraction, there is nothing so big here, but what we need to know is that there is changing of division into multiplication. This is what we are going to do. Example number 1. Example 1. Here it is. 3 over 4 divided maybe 3 over 8. Now what do? You need to check this and try to change this division sign into multiplication. How do we do it? Now you get the reciprocal of the second fraction. You get the reciprocal of the second fraction. What is the reciprocal? Reciprocal in simple words, we are saying you get the inverse. I think it is easy if I say you get the upside down of a number. I believe you have understood that. That means that you change the denominator to go up and the numerator to go down. That is 3 over 4. Now you change division into multiplication, and this one becomes 8 over 3. Now the reciprocal of 3 over 8 is 8 over 3, upside down. Now, you look at this, you can simplify very easily without multiplication, but I believe let's multiply, because that will be 3 by 8, that is 24. And 4 times 3, that is 12. Can you ask yourself, how many times does 12 go to 24? It is 2 times, so you have to divide. 12 here 1, 12 here 2, you get 2. So the answer is 2 in that place. Let's do another example. Example number 2. Maybe 9 over 10 divided by 5, 5 over 7. What are you going to do? I've said step number 1, get the reciprocal. Step number 2, change division sign into multiplication. That's 9 over 10. Multiply by the reciprocal, which is 7 over 5. Let's see. 9 times 7, 63. 10 times 5, 50. So what do you have? 63 over 50. But this one is a bigger numerator and a smaller denominator. So what do? We just divide. We ask ourselves, we use the method we used here. That is 50 into 63. Goes there 1, 50, subtract to get 3 and 1. So the answer becomes the quotient, which is 1, the answer, the remainder 13 over the divisor, which is 50. Example number 3, which is the last one, it becomes maybe, let me use a mixed fraction, 1 over 2 divided by 2 over 4. What do we do? Step number 1, change the given fraction into improper fraction. Change the given fraction into improper fraction. You don't put your multiplication add. Do that. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3 over 2. Divide by 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus 2, 10 over 4. What is the next step? The next step is that change the division sign into multiplication and get the reciprocal of the second fraction. The reciprocal of the second fraction is the inverse. So it becomes 3 over 2 multiplied by 4 over 10. Multiply direct. 3 by 4, 12. 2 by 10, 20. So what do we have? We have 12 over 20. Now, this is a number that can be simplified. Simplified by what? I think 4 will work it out. Divide by 4, divide by 4. You'll get 3 over 5. 3 over 5. With these examples, I believe there is something we've gotten, and with more research, you'll understand much. Let's try our best. Let's try our best to do this research. Now, let me give you a mind check or an exercise on this division. I believe you will do it. So, number 1, 1 over 2 divided by 3 over 4. Then number 2, maybe 3, 1 over 4 divided by 9, 1 over 6. So try these 2 questions and the other 2 questions that I gave here. I believe you will have much knowledge on the fingertips. Thank you very much. I believe with much practice, you'll find out this is very easy to do.